Устал, да? Отдохни.
16 ноября он
16 ноября, да.
Islam Makhachev has been training relentlessly, showing no signs of slowing down as he prepares for his upcoming bout with Della Maddalena. However, on the other hand, Dan Hooker shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, saying he feels fairly confident about it from a stylistic standpoint. He noted that Della Maddalena and his team have actively pursued this fight, which suggests they see an opportunity. Hooker believes the bout will likely be competitive, but he acknowledged it is a significant step up. He pointed out that Islam Makhachev is a big, strong fighter, and while he thinks Islam has a chance, he feels the edge leans toward Della Maddalena.
Pretty confident stylistically with that Della fight they've kind of gone out of their way to chase that fight down. So they obviously see something. I feel like it'll be close, but yeah, that's a big step up. Della's a pretty big boy.
Do you think Islam can get past him?
He's obviously got I feel like he's got a chance, but I feel like that fight leans towards Della.
Moreover, Stephen Thompson also weighed in on the matchup, saying he believes Islam Makhachev has a real chance to win, but it is far from guaranteed. He explained that it is not the kind of fight where you can look at it on paper and expect an easy outcome, as it will depend on which fighter shows up and who sticks to their game plan. When asked to give his pick, Thompson said he would lean toward Della Maddalena.
I mean, I think he could. He can. He can win this fight. It's not a for sure thing. It's not one of those like on paper, oh, he's going to just beat him. No, he can win it. It all depends on who shows up and who sticks to their game plan.
Okay, but if you had to give a lean, if you had to pick someone, who would you pick?
I'm going to go for JDM.
However, Islam Makhachev is undergoing an intense, non-stop training camp, building a stronger and more imposing physique. His relentless preparation highlights his focus and determination, making him look bigger, sharper, and more intimidating ahead of his next fight.
Устал, да? Отдохни.
16 ноября он
16 ноября, да.
Furthermore, Robert Whittaker acknowledged his own bias but maintained that Della Maddalena had the tools to beat Islam Makhachev. He emphasized Jack's size, underrated grappling, and unconventional striking style as key factors that could pose serious problems. Whittaker noted that taking Jack down would not be easy and highlighted his sharp punches, punishing body shots, and ability to connect from difficult angles as potential challenges for Islam.
Why does he beat Islam in your opinion?
I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see the fight playing out very much like it did with Volk, okay? But Jack's bigger. Jack's he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands, and if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. You know, I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
Max Holloway stressed that many are overlooking just how dangerous Della Maddalena is, despite his position among the world's elite and his number 2 ranking on the pound-for-pound list. He suggested the fight might take place in October and predicted it would be a tough, strategic, and thrilling matchup. Max Holloway cautioned that Jack is not a fighter to underestimate.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is, he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason. So you gotta respect that, but. don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
Daniel Cormier cautioned Islam Makhachev to sharpen his wrestling before facing Jack Della Maddalena, noting that he had trouble controlling Dustin Poirier in their fight. He praised Jack's recent improvements in takedown defense and emphasized that Islam must refine his entries and positioning to avoid trouble in this matchup.
Islam Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena, who showed great takedown defense. And man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good in close.
Muhammad Mokaev also weighed in on the future, discussing a potential clash between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. He said the fight would generate far more excitement if Islam captures the welterweight title, while Ilia becomes lightweight champion, adding that making the fight too soon would waste the chance for a bigger build-up.
Now, for example, Islam fights Ilia and he beats him. Example, people say he beat another 145er. But Islam wins the title now at welterweight, and then Ilia beats Oliveira. That's even bigger fights to create, right? So I don't think Islam needs to slow down his career. He go take even they strip his belt off. In my opinion, he will be double champion, because that's how it started. If Conor could, why Islam can't, And I think it create bigger name for them if this way better, rather than Islam fight Topuria and the hype slows down. You know what I mean? I rather see Islam becomes the champion, Ilia Topuria becomes a champion, and they can fight at catchweight for the, I don't know, whatever they want,
Israel Adesanya voiced his belief that Jack Della Maddalena has the tools to defeat Islam Makhachev, citing his physical frame, punching power, and constant movement during scrambles. He highlighted Jack's forward pressure and striking intensity, noting that it could wear Islam down if the takedowns do not land consistently.
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even watching him with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns. His scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh, I'm not standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
dense, man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man, good.
Alexander Volkanovski added that Jack's ability to remain active in striking exchanges, even under wrestling threats, along with his growing confidence from handling skilled grapplers, makes him a strong contender to manage the challenges Islam presents.
Jack Della and what he did him with Bilal is he will, you get people that are worried about the takedown, so like, and then they don't fight their fight on the feet. I'm gonna fight my fight and worry about the takedown when it's there.
Exactly.
And that's perfect. You need to be like that. For me, like with Islam, was like, I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah, I'll be worried about it, but at the same time, find the shots to go in, boom, boom, boom. But I'll worry about the takedown when they're there.
Later
But
on,
I'm still
once
committed
you realize
things.
you could handle it, then you were just like, I can handle it.
And the confidence Jack Della is going to have now from getting through that, even though he's going to be confident. And then there's another one when you're successful with guys that are very dominant there. When you have the success there, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now you end up even that much better at the takedown. And then he's going to do a lot. We're actually going to get a bit of training in and that as well. Like obviously he's going to do.
Over there.
Hey,
you going over there?
He'll probably come over here, or maybe we'll get a. Oh, we'll see. I might even go over there. Whatever they want, I'm happy to do whatever.
George Masvidal called the matchup a major test for both fighters, noting Islam Makhachev's size and how moving up from 155 pounds could make him look even stronger at welterweight. While he acknowledged Islam's skill set, he described Jack Della Maddalena as special and said a win in this fight would place Jack among the top pound-for-pound fighters globally.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack. #1 pound for. Wow, that's impressive, you know.
Masvidal leaned slightly toward Islam but made it clear the fight will not be easy, pointing to Jack's solid takedown defense against Belal Muhammad while recognizing Islam's superior wrestling and technical edge. He added that Jack holds advantages in striking, speed, and early power, but if Islam survives the opening rounds and extends the fight, his experience in grappling could turn the tide.
I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's going to be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Belal.
Belal has the best cardio in MMA, but Belal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique. Not same. Very good, very aggressive. Belal never stops a dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
Charles Oliveira acknowledged Jack Della Maddalena as a serious threat due to his calm and calculated style. He highlighted how Jack patiently dismantled Belal Muhammad over time, showing a strategic approach. However, Oliveira believes Islam Makhachev will lean heavily on his wrestling, adding that the outcome will largely depend on Jack's ability to stay upright and deliver effective strikes throughout the bout.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Sean O'Malley described the matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena as a high-level clash, but suggested that a future fight between Islam and Ilia Topuria could generate even greater attention. He praised Jack Della Maddalena's victory over Belal Muhammad for setting the stage for the Jack bout and noted that if Jack can defend the takedowns and land clean shots, the momentum could shift in his favor very quickly.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev. I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Belal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Who give him that?
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Gilbert Burns supported Islam Makhachev's decision to move up to welterweight, saying the cut to 155 pounds had become too taxing on him. He described Islam as one of the most skilled fighters in the sport, but admitted that Jack Della Maddalena poses significant challenges. Burns pointed to Jack's elite training partners, including Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski, as key elements that could make this matchup far more competitive than many anticipate.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Javier Mendez, Islam's coach, made it clear that their camp is not underestimating Jack. He said those who label Jack an easy opponent fail to recognize his true level, praising his toughness displayed against Belal Muhammad.
You know, if we as coaches think Jack is easier, we're stupid. We are very stupid. Then we didn't watch the Belal fight, because Belal can take a hell of a shot. He can take a hell of a shot, and he took him. he gave him 2. Bilal gave him 2. So it was a war. That fight was a war. And you know what? For us to think it's an easy fight for us, you know, what kind of idiot coaches are we? Habib's not an idiot, and neither am I. And neither is Magomed, neither is Saif Safullah and Muhammad, the other coaches that they work with Islam. We're not stupid.
Mendes also highlighted Jack's striking diversity, noting how he blends powerful punches with kicks targeting the head, body, and legs. While he described Ilia Topuria as the sharper boxer, he warned that Jack's complete striking arsenal is a serious threat. Mendes emphasized that Islam must perform at his absolute best or risk being caught off guard.
We know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a much bigger guy and just as dangerous, if not more dangerous in different variations. Not boxing, because I think Topuria's got the best boxing in the business. I still believe that. But Jack is well versed in the kicking and the arsenal, how he mixes it up. He's really good at head and body, leg, everything. He's really, really good at that. So we have our hands cut out for us. It's not an easy fight at all. If Islam, by some miracle of a chance, makes that fight to be like slam dunk, it's because we were properly prepared, or Jack wasn't as prepared, or Jack was injured, or Jack just got caught. But it's gonna be one of those fights that's not easy. No way in hell is that fight gonna be easy. Very tough fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov stated that he considers Jack Della Maddalena possibly the toughest challenge Islam Makhachev could face. He pointed out Jack's clear size advantage over Ilia Topuria, his comparable skill set, and his reliable grappling as key factors. Khabib added that if given the opportunity and choice of preparing Islam for either Ilia or Jack, Maddalena would be the more demanding opponent.
Считаю, что Мадалена самый сложный соперник в ислама карьере. Это мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто. Ни один из этих бойцов...
И даже не Илья, если бы это бой был бы.
Ну, мое личное мнение, во-первых, Мадалена 2 раза больше, чем Илья.
Сопоставим.
Илья. Он 2 раза больше. Он выше, больше, ноги помощнее, корпус, бокс не хуже. И грэпплинг, он возится очень хорошо, если вы смотрели. Ну, для меня, если я, например, буду готовить Ислама против Илья или Маддалены, для меня больше будет волновать и волнует Maddalena.
Ian Gary admitted that predicting the outcome is difficult. He praised Islam's well-rounded skill set, but noted that moving up in weight introduces more uncertainty. Gary highlighted Jack's natural size advantage over Volkanovski, his strong takedown defense, and his elite striking as factors that could create serious problems, even though Islam currently enters as the favorite.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Chael Sonnen questioned whether Islam would stay in the welterweight division for another title run if he loses to Jack or drop back to lightweight. He pointed to fighters like Ilia Topuria and Islam as examples of those driven primarily by the pursuit of championship belts, emphasizing that in MMA, chasing the title remains the ultimate motivation.
If he loses to Jack, does he get right back in the mix at 170? His way back to that title shot. Is that what he does, or is he way back down to 155 pounds? Was Ilia what he's going through now, what it is Islam in the announcement that we just got? What I'm attempting to prove to you is there is nothing in this sport that matters more to the fighters than the weight.
Craig Jones predicted that Islam is about to face one of his toughest challenges yet, recalling Islam's first fight with Alexander Volkanovski as proof he can show vulnerabilities against elite scramblers. He noted that Jack brings even more unpredictability with his unique grappling style and grip-breaking ability.
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Bilal struggled with. Bilal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works very well.
Craig also praised Jack's creativity, saying it makes him more difficult to prepare for compared to fighters like Belal Muhammad, who follow stricter game plans. He added that Jack's size could surprise opponents and predicted a thrilling, striking-heavy bout that the UFC would be eager to promote.
But in terms of creativity in what Belal does, I think it's pretty strict. Jack, as you saw in that fight, some of his off balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volks work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help them out even though potentially enemy.
Jack Hermansson addressed the uncertainty surrounding fighters moving up a division. He said, Islam has been nearly untouchable at lightweight and might be the current best pound-for-pound fighter, but he doubts Islam will dominate as easily at welterweight. Hermansson slightly still favors Islam while praising Jack's win over Belal Muhammad, though he wants to see more tests before fully rating Jack among the elite.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really, really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Philip Rowe expressed strong confidence in Jack Della Maddalena, saying he believes Jack will defeat Islam Makhachev. He argued that Islam lacks the frame to handle larger welterweights and predicted that Jack's punching power and quick recovery from takedowns would overwhelm him, leading to a finish before the fight reaches the judges' scorecards.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chillin'.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in the fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the matchup? Would love to hear your thoughts on this, so share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.